Hey everybody, Jim here. Well, I finally got around to seeing Independence Day Resurgence. And I'm here to give my quick thoughts about it. How to talk about this movie. Well, I guess I should talk about my feelings on the original. I was 8 years old when the original movie came out, and I absolutely adored it when I first saw it at the age of 8. Now that I'm an adult, I can certainly see why some people have a lot of problems with it. The plot is very, very silly, relies on many plot contrivances. The alien invasion goes down in a way that's really absurd if you know anything about technology. Yet despite that, I still kind of enjoy the original Independence Day, despite how dumb it is at times, because it has a certain heart and a great sense of patriotism, and I really appreciate that in the movie. Like the speech, "Today we celebrate our Independence Day." It still feels very genuine. And when the aliens kill thousands and thousands of people, there's some emotional weight to it in the original movie. And that was definitely a quality that was severely lacking in Independence Day Resurgence. One thing I really noted is when the ship lands in this movie, and I should warn there's going to be spoilers ahead, it must kill tens of millions of people. And our characters who look upon this destruction, all this death, they make a very immature joke about peeing in your suit. Is that the reaction you would have to seeing tens of millions of people die? Well, it was in this movie, and that shows the tone of it. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. Whereas the first film was silly, this movie is sillier. A lot sillier. One thing worth noting, though, about a lot of the silliness of the original movie and this one, in order for this movie to be realistic, it would end with everyone on Earth dead. If an alien race that could travel across interstellar space were to arrive on Earth and would have malevolent goals for our destruction, it'd be over. We would stand absolutely no chance, and we would lose in the end. It would be like the modern American military fighting a troop of chimpanzees. And I'm not talking about genetically altered chimpanzees from the Planet of the Apes movies. I'm talking about just ordinary chimpanzees charging on a bunch of fully armed and equipped American soldiers. It would just be dead. And so making it so that humanity wins in the end, which I don't think that's any spoiler we do, really does require the plot to be kind of ridiculous. But in the original movie, I would say, how do I put this? It feels like it has a heart to it, despite its silliness, and I just didn't feel that here. The film feels really dry and emotionless. That said, this is probably Roland Emmerich's best movie in like 15 years. That's not saying much, but when you compare it with bullshit like 10,000 BC that has mammoth-driven carriages building the pyramids of Giza, this film is stupid, but it's a lot less stupid than that. This is probably his best movie since The Patriot, and it definitely has its moments. There are definitely a lot of entertaining scenes in this movie. You got a lot more ground battles against the aliens, who are now mostly computer animated, whereas in the original movie, due to the limits of 90s computer animation, they were mostly puppets, and that kind of frees them up that you can do a lot more things with them, and there's a lot of really cool sequences, and you got like a big giant alien queen now destroying the world, almost like a big version of the end of the original Aliens. Yeah. Oh, it's silly, but it's kind of enjoyably silly. That's the thing about this movie. It's a stupid flick if you're looking for anything that was smartly written, anything where the emotion feels genuine. You're not going to find it in this movie. It doesn't even have the same heft as the original movie, which was already a silly flick. But if you're looking for really dumb, explosive sci-fi action schlock entertainment, almost like a big budget version of an Asylum movie almost, this movie ain't that bad, actually. So while I was watching it, I knew it wasn't good, but occasionally I was smiling and laughing at the absurdity of what was going on screen. we get kind of a setup for a possible third movie that may not happen because this movie hasn't been doing well at the box office. Or maybe, who knows, maybe it'll come out in 2036, since it took 20 years to get this movie. So maybe there's 20 years between installments, and a very, very old Roland Emmerich will come out of a retirement home and put it together in 2036. Like, for example, we get this, we learn that they've attacked other planets, and apparently all the other alien races that the Independence Day aliens have attacked have all failed, but mankind has succeeded. I'm thinking, why? What's so special about mankind that we would repel this attack where none of these other races, and some of them seem much more advanced than we are, couldn't? It's kind of arrogant if you really think about it. Logically, there's most likely billions of other intelligent races in the universe, and I'm guessing there's nothing really special about mankind, to be honest. We're probably very ordinary among all these other races that probably do exist somewhere. It's kind of, how to say it, human-centric to really think that only humanity has the gumption, the spunk, to defeat a far superior force, whereas none of these other races could. As if they don't have gumption or spunk, they have no survival instincts. They would just fall over, but humanity, no. Oh yeah, we're survivors. It's not like we ever do stupid stuff like fight wars with each other, or mass genocides, crimes, rapes, animal torture, what have you. No one does these things. No, we can pull together. Like I said, it's silly, but whatever. Even though I was often rolling my eyes at this movie, I was never angry with it. I was always like, yeah, I was always kind of laughing like, yeah, right, but hey. So, overall, what's my verdict? I'm not going to call this a good movie, and I'm not really going to recommend it, but I'm not going to beg anyone not to see it either. It's a harmless, silly sci-fi sequel full of destruction porn, and overall,